Hello and welcome to NAFDAC and your else. My name is Tosing Omolaja, and here's where we bring you up to date with NAFDAC's activities with regards to its mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation. Thanks for joining us for another insightful edition of the program. Since the COVID-19 pandemic made its way to the shores of Nigeria in February 2020, NAFDAC had worked tirelessly to ensure that Nigeria does everything possible, both within and with inputs from outside its borders, to ensure the country does not succumb to this ravaging virus. Immediately, the Director General of the agency got to work, inviting capable Nigerians to venture into producing alcohol-based sanitizers, which is effective in protecting against the spread of the virus, as well as face masks.
What we have done in NAFDAC is to start giving emergency use approval as stipulated by WHO to qualified companies that make these medical devices. These are things that people have to wear, whether the medical practitioners, nurses, healthcare workers, or the general public.
There are different types of masks. The civil one, which is the common general one that people can use. You have the medical face mask. So you have the medical, you have the surgical one. The surgical one must be tightly fitted, and it should, first of all, it's called medical because you want to protect your patient, and you also want to protect yourself as a medical personnel from whatever the patient is bringing out. From breath, from sneezing and whatnot. Then you have the respirators. The respirators are grouped into two categories, N95, N98. The N95 filters out 95% of whatever is going to come into, to the user. So it's protective. Now, N98, of course, filters more. So that is the highest grade of face masks.
Today, many Nigerian businesses produce these products, helping to curb the spread and avoid an astronomical rise in cases.
This OKA medical face mask is a medical graded face mask, and we actually didn't spare any money or cost in making sure that we produce it to match industry standard or to meet industry standard or any standard anywhere in the world.
The agency has also worked with many herbal practitioners who claim their herbal preparations are able to help in treating the disease, not only making it possible for them to scientifically test the safety for the use of their herbal medicines, but also putting measures in place to help them take their products to clinical trial.
What we are doing now in NAFDAC is to ensure that our herbalists and our researchers come together. First of all, signing confidentiality agreements so that our own herbal medicines can be translated into products. And that is where NAFDAC comes in. When you are able to translate it into product, then we have to test whether it has a lot of microbes or germs and whether it is toxic. We have animals that we use, mice, rats in the lab, to know whether the herbal product will kill them or how quickly they will be affected. If those two are satisfied, we approve, but restricted approval. And we put them in the category of listed products. And we put L after the NAFDAC number. And the advice that we give to such an applicant is, we're encouraging you to do clinical studies. Because it is when you do clinical studies and you have parameters and variables that you can say, okay, I increase the dose by this level and I'm getting the effect. By this level, I'm not getting effect at all.
NAFDAC is a scientific organization. We don't base efficacy on testimonials. And so we will encourage these people to go to our website, look at all the requirements for conduct of clinical trials and then make the appropriate applications. We're there to help expedite their process, help guide, but we cannot partake, in the trials, but we can guide them.
NAFDAC continues to work with global organizations to ensure Nigeria is in tandem with global activities as far as the pandemic is concerned, training its workforce at various levels, including for the approval of medical devices such as test kits and the vaccine itself.
The COVID-19 pandemic has heightened the need for collaboration, both on a continental level, the African Union. There's a lot of collaboration amongst countries within Africa, whether you're talking about access or you're talking about pharmacovigilance or you're talking about supply chain issues. All of this is being discussed so that there is harmonization of what we're doing to end up with issues that will be handled in a uniform manner, in a consistent manner, to make sure that we have access to what we need for the population. There is also collaboration with the WHO, the World Health Organization, and I believe the DG participates very actively in the International Coalition of Medical Regulatory Agencies, ICMRA, where there is active collaboration with global, it's a more global outlook where you have many countries of the world that participates, and Nigeria is very active in that.
While the nation yet awaits its supply of vaccines, NAFDAC has put all measures in place to ensure a smooth deployment of vaccines in the country, from screening at our ports to laboratory testing and post-immunization monitoring.
With respect to COVID-19 vaccine introduction in Nigeria, a lot of activities have been ongoing with relation to being prepared to actually receive the vaccines and actually to also immunize the populace. With respect to safety monitoring, we have been actually preparing. From the NAFDAC point of view, we have a vaccine committee in place that has been meeting on a weekly basis, discussing issues on related to our preparedness in terms of registration, in terms of safety monitoring, and all the other things that are related to the NAFDAC mandate. We have been putting documents and processes in place. For example, we have in place the COVID-19 preparedness plan by NAFDAC. And we have also developed guidelines on smart safety surveillance for Nigeria with respect to COVID-19 vaccines introduction. Currently, as the head of pharmacovigilance in NAFDAC, there are so many technical working groups that are not only limited to NAFDAC. It's like a countrywide Nigerian COVID-19 vaccine technical working group, which comprises of different stakeholders from different streams of life, looking at the national primary health care, looking at members from NAFDAC, looking at partners from WHO, UNICEF, CDC, NCDC, and others that have a stake to ensure that the right vaccines are received in Nigeria, and with respect to safety monitoring, that every surveillance system is put in place to ensure that people who receive the vaccines are well monitored. And if there are cases of adverse events following immunization as a result of the COVID-19 vaccine, they are documented appropriately and investigated.
The Med Safety app is one piece of technology that will help in ensuring that adverse reactions are reported in real time, documented and mitigated.
The Med Safety app is used to report all adverse drug reactions that can be encountered with the use of any medication. Then secondly, it can also be used to track all safety information about medicinal products. It can also be used to build a watch list of medications you are interested in, so that I can periodically get safety information about that drug. and which also determine my case for continuing use of this medication, or to talk to my healthcare provider for a review of my medication. Then lastly, the MedSafety app can be used to access all adverse drug reactions that have been reported on a medication based on what we call the ATC classification. That is the anatomical, therapeutic, and chemical classification from the WHO database. What are the key features of the MedSafety app? First, it is available to download for free. You can freely download the MedSafety app from the Google Play Store if you are using an Android device, or from the Apple Store if you are using an iOS system. You can log into the app without internet connectivity, create and save reports without internet connection. The only time you need an internet connection is when you are about to submit this report to the National Pharmacovigilance Center. Thirdly, you can use the app to read about news feed from NAFDAC, news feeds related to product alerts, notices, any safety information that NAFDAC is passing out to the general public. We can use this app to access that information and read about it. Then, of course, this app has been personalized for the country. As soon as you download this app, you see the Nigerian flag and the NAFDAC logo, which means it is personalized for use in Nigeria alongside our color scheme. The app is available in English by default, but it can be adapted to suit other languages. In future, we plan to amend this app so that it can be accessible in the 3 major languages in Nigeria: the Hausa, the Igbo, and the Yoruba language.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away.
Onye na-akụ batawa. Omenoko.
Ndewo.
Nọdụ ala n'oche.
Nwanyị mma.
Nna Ibe. No. Ịbịala.
Anna, bịa gaa na ke mama kara okpe. Zụtara dede go otu ebe mma ịkara aka. Ịma na ọ wụ onye nkwụ.
Mbanụ, ịma na ọ dịghị mma. Ọ n'ime na ọ dịghị mma iziga ụmụaka na-erubeghị afọ 18 igote mmanya na-aba n'anya. Ọ dịghị mma. Ngwa nye m ka m gote n'aka m.
Ekwesịkwara nọ m ịma.
Mana agbabuola m gị.
Ụlọ ọrụ NAFDAC ekwuola ya ha so na-ekwekwala ka ụmụaka na-erubeghị afọ 18 na-enwe mmekọ ha na mmanya na-aba n'anya. Ọ ga-eme ha na-etinye anya na mmanya.
Aga m ezikakwa ha nna ọzọ.
Ọ bụ ọrụ dịrị mụ na gị, nne na nna, ndị na-ere mmanya na ndị na-elekọta ụmụaka. Kwụsị na ụmụaka na-erubeghị afọ 18 ịṅụ mmanya na-aba n'anya n'obodo anyị. Sonyere na anyị taa.
Ozi a sitere n'aka ndị ose mmanya Distillers and Blenders Association, ụlọ ọrụ NAFDAC na ngalaba gọọmenti na-ahụ maka ahụike na-eru gị ntị.
Welcome back. If you're just joining in, you're watching NAFDAC and your health.
The MedSafety app is an easy-to-use mobile application for reporting adverse drug reaction. Let's take a quick tour of the app.
Once you find the MedSafety app, you click on the download. As soon as you click on the download, you download and you install the app. You see a list of all the countries that have adopted the MedSafety app. You click on Nigeria. As soon as you click to Nigeria, it takes you to the next display page. In this login page, if you're a new user, you go to create an account. In creating an account, you input your email address and your user password, and you click on create an account, and it creates your unique account for you. But if you already have an existing account, you just click on continue as a guest user, and it takes you to the next page. Then this is the news display page. In this place is where the user of the MedSafety app can access all safety profile of medication that NAFDAC puts out to the general public, which includes alerts, notices, withdrawals, sanctions, seizures, or any other regulatory action carried out by NAFDAC as a regulatory agency. At the top bottom are 4 scroll bars: the news, the product, the watch list, and the reports. So this one is for the news. Then for the product, when you click on products, it brings up the list of all NAFDAC registered medicines on our database. So you can search for any medicine using the first 2-3 letters, and it select that particular medicine for you. The next place is the watch list. If there is a watch list of any product that NAFDAC is interested in, for example, when there are a lot of adverse drug reactions on a particular medication, and we are interested in looking at signal detection and management for that particular medication, we will put it on a watch list so that the general public will be aware that there's something happening in terms of the safety profile of this particular medication. The next most important part of this Med Safety app is the reports, the page that allows you to create new adverse drug reaction reports and send it to NAFDAC. So if I am using this app, if I'm either a health professional, a healthcare provider, a marketing authorization holder, a member of the public health program, or even a member of the general public, and I take a particular medication and I experience any adverse drug reaction and I want to report to NAFDAC, what I simply do with this app is to click on the green bar that has reports. As soon as you click on it, it tells you whether you want to, it asks you certain questions, whether you want to report a side effect to a medicine, or you want to report a side effect to a medicine used to treat COVID-19 and some other options. Then you click on that, it takes me to the reporter's detail. This is very important because for an adverse drug reaction to be complete, it needs to have 4 major components. First, the details of the reporter. So this is the first information that we require for the Med Safety app, the reporter's detail. So it is important that the reporter imputes details of himself, which are mandatory fields, before he can move on to the next page. So when you are done with imputing these details, you go to next, and it takes you to another key component of a report, which means there must be a suspected medicine. So that particular medicine you're taking, that is, you suspect that is causing that adverse drug reaction, this is the page where you add details of the medicine. But I want to mention that at this point, that if you click on add, it takes you to where the page, where a display page where you add the medicine. For in this case, I've chosen augmentin, for example. Then there's also which is a mandatory field. You can see that it is asterisk. It's a mandatory field that must be completed before you can move on to the next page. Then you have the reasons for taking the medicine. You include if it's an infection, ear, nose, throat, whatever it is. Then the next thing, it takes you to the batch. You include the batch number of that medicine, the dose units. Then it tells you whether it's a tablet or injection, then you indicate. The next page is another very important component of an ADR report, which is the reaction, which gives you the opportunity to impute all the reaction details that you're experiencing, headache, rash, or any other thing you experience with the use of Stevens-Johnson syndrome, but we want you to keep it as simple as possible. And of course, we also have the MEDRA code that can also assist health professionals in reporting. Then more importantly, it gives you option whether the reaction resulted in death, or is life-threatening, or it caused prolonged hospitalization of the patient. Then when you take the one that is most appropriate, you go on next. As soon as you go on next, you now describe the events that happened, then you go to the next page. The next page is also very important in conducting causality assessments. Then as soon as you are done with this, it tells you whether you want to submit a report. Would you like to submit the report? If you're happy with the information you've captured in the previous pages, then you click on yes. But if you're not, you click on no. If you click on no, it goes automatically and goes to the saved reports. So you can always go back to the saved reports, edit it, and send it at a later time. Then, of course, when you submit the report, there's an automatic feedback. This is one of the challenges of the conventional hard copy yellow forms. The hard copy yellow forms, it is practically impossible for the National Pharmacovigilance Center to respond to all submitted hard copy yellow forms. But with the Med Safety app, as soon as an ADR report is submitted, there's an automatic response to the reporter, telling the reporter that the National Pharmacovigilance Center has received that report, and that report has a characteristics or unique reference number for which the National Pharmacovigilance can use in carry out further investigation and give outcomes at a later date to the reporter.
NAFDAC continues to warn the general public on the dangers of acquiring vaccines from unapproved sources. The Director General made this warning after news of fake vaccines litter social media.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has not received any application from COVID vaccine manufacturers yet, and therefore no vaccines have been approved by NAFDAC. COVID-19 vaccines are new, and the side effects or adverse events must be well monitored. Therefore, if NAFDAC does not approve, the public should not use. We've had a lot of stories about fake COVID vaccines. There are reports of fake COVID vaccines online, including Nigeria. NAFDAC is pleading with the public to be aware. No COVID vaccines have been approved by NAFDAC. Fake vaccines can cause COVID-like illnesses or other serious diseases that could kill. We have heard that some people would like to order COVID vaccines, private companies and corporations. Please be aware, vaccines should not be ordered, COVID vaccines should not be ordered by any company or corporation. The companies that manufacture these vaccines, if they are genuine companies, know they have to submit their applications to NAFDAC for review. Similarly, government establishments and agencies should not order COVID vaccines without confirming from NAFDAC if the vaccine has been approved. Despite all this, NAFDAC is discussing with manufacturers as we speak, manufacturers of COVID-19 vaccines, concerning potential emergency use authorization, registration, or licensing of their product, as the case may be. The safety of COVID vaccine is premium to NAFDAC. This is why active pharmacovigilance is being used.
That's our package for today. Please join us again same time, same station next week for a fresh edition. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers in your area, our doors are always open.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Remember, COVID-19 is real. Please ensure you and your family follow the safety measures as outlined by the NCDC. Stay away from crowded places as much as possible, and if you must be out there, please wear a face mask. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water, and ensure you use only NAFDAC-approved alcohol-based hand sanitizers. See you next week. Stay safe.